Jag gör en dubb ändå. Det är dumt att skicka iväg original.
Precis.
Så, varsågoda.
Tack.
Ja.
So, Christina, Made in Sweden. This was actually your first film role.
Yeah, that's correct. I was still in school when they asked me for this to doing this part, and it was 68, I think, autumn 68.
So how old were you?
I was 18, but sometimes I think I look a little bit younger, don't I? Well.
And you started your centerfold career just before this film.
Yes, some half a year before, I think. Yeah.
When you were discovered on a beach.
Yeah, like girls, on the beach and
But this wasn't the first film that was actually shown in the theaters.
How do you mean?
I mean, you shot this. This was the first film you were in, but this wasn't the first one that was shown in cinemas.
No, it was the Dog Days. Yeah, I think. This was shown later on, but not in Sweden then.
So Made in Sweden was never shown in Sweden?
Sweden, no. Exactly.
So it was made with American money for the international market.
Yeah.
The film team was both American and Swedish.
That's correct. Yeah. Most of them were Swedish, I think.
And the two other lead roles are played by Christer and Monica Ekman. Can you tell us a bit about them?
She was a rather famous actress at that time, and he was her husband, I suppose. That's why he got the part, because he wasn't an actor.
But it comes from a very famous acting family.
Yes, family. Yes, really. And yeah.
And he went on to another career.
Yes, as a, as a restaurant owner and so on. Yeah.
Förlåt, jag måste stänga av mobilen. Fan.
Andreas har roligt här.
Ja. Så, vi kör vidare.
Ja.
Yeah, you were still in school, so how could you leave school to shoot a film?
Well, I decided that I could do something funnier than school at that time. So I went up to Stockholm and I went to this very nice hotel in the middle of Stockholm. It lays close to the Swedish castle in Stockholm. And well, it was a fantastic new world for me. It was really a change. And I think I stayed in Stockholm for 3 weeks or something. They made a movie in 3 weeks, very fast.
So were you also out partying all night?
No, I don't think so. When I was like this, when I worked, I was very serious. I tried to do my very best all the time. So.
And what happened when you got back to school, when you had skipped the lessons?
Well, they weren't too happy, and the first thing I saw was a lot of fold-up pictures that my nice friends has put up on the walls. And the teacher told me that I had to decide if I want to go to school or not, And I decided that I wanted to take my, examination. So I stopped my little career for a while, and then I took my examination. And 2 days after that, I went up to Stockholm again and did the other movie, The Dog Days. So.
And watching Made in Sweden today, you say you were 18. The sex scenes are rather explicit.
Yes. really. And I haven't seen this movie before, and I'm a little bit surprised because I agree that they are. But yeah.
You remember it as being tough to shoot those scenes?
No, to be honest, I do not remember very much. But I have a sense that I thought it was a little bit hard for me to do some things in those scenes. Yes.
But you've said also that you have a sort of you don't have a hard time being nude.
No, I have a natural, what do you say, natural inställning, what do you say?
Ja, vad ska vi kalla det?
Natural way of cope with no clothes, being naked. So.
Yeah. And also, this is your first film, but you already here you see themes that are recurrent also in Exposed and Anita and Thriller, this sort of degradation.
Mm.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
You mean the girls in those movies?
Yeah. How they are treated by the men.
Yes, yeah, but it seems to be a typical thing to do during the 17th, like a theme or something like that, because they are almost alike, those movies. And I'm the same girl in those movies also. I'm the same, do the same acting.
And is this this must be something that the filmmakers thought of with you in mind, this sort of Lolita figure?
Yeah. And some of the movies the French put money in, and they were looking for this kind of special Lolita, and well, then they thought about me.
Very innocent and very female at the same time.
Yeah.
But do you think, I mean, today watching this, it seems to be a very sort of an old-fashioned way of looking at sexuality. Is it traditional male fantasy? Or?
Yes, it must be. Absolutely.
And have you any idea how the film was received internationally? If it was
no idea about that.
You
Not
never
at
saw
all.
it, and
no, I haven't seen it until today, the first time. Yeah.
Did this film, your first starring role, give you any other roles?
No, I don't think so. I think these the fold-out pictures that I made gave me my parts, and when I had made this the Dog Days, then it went on and went on. I made I think 25 movies during a period of 2 or 3 years, so it went on very very quickly. But most of the movies took more than 3 weeks. Mostly took 2 months to make a movie at that time. Yeah.
So this was a quickie.
Yeah, you can say so.
And why would an American company come to Sweden to shoot a film at this time with this theme?
Yeah, but well, maybe they have this Swedish girl in mind in some ways. But as I have told many times before, it's funny because I do not look Swedish at all. I'm rather small, I'm dark, could be French or something like that instead. So, but I was the Swedish sim at that time.
And yet in this film you have the typical Swedish girl's name.
Inga, exactly.
Which was used over and over again as a sort of a symbol.
Yes, and when I went, even when I went down to Germany for making movies, they called me Inga, of course.
And that has been used after the 70s in, it was used in Mel Brooks, The Producers.
Yes.
And I think there's also actually some new films where one of your the girls who came after is also always called Inga in all those movies.
Yeah.
Ja, jag stoppar där. Vi ser om jag tror att det här blir lagom. Jag tror att de kan göra en liten...
Men det är, alltså, det är
bakom
lätt,
kulisserna
alltså, det är så dumt för att man kommer